It's 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. I'm Derek Gilbert with 5 things you need to know in about 10 minutes for Thursday, October 17th, 2024. Item number 5 today, Israel. 10 members of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud Party, that's 10 of the 32 members that are in the Knesset, nearly a third, including a cabinet minister, announced on Wednesday they're going to take part in a conference entitled Preparing to Resettle Gaza. This is scheduled for next week in the border region between Gaza and Israel near the town of Sderot. The event will also be attended by some relatives of hostages still being held in Gaza, still 101 Israelis, including some American citizens, still unaccounted for inside Gaza. This is being organized by the Nakala Settlement Movement Organization, which advocates for Jewish settlement in Judea and Samaria. It's what the world calls the West Bank, where it has helped establish some illegal settlement outposts. Nakala organized another conference in January, which is calling for Israeli resettlement of Gaza, in addition to encouraging voluntary immigration of Palestinian Arabs out of the Gaza Strip. This gathering was attended by about 24 ministers and lawmakers. Now, Prime Minister Netanyahu has repeatedly rejected the idea of Israeli civilians moving into Gaza, but critics are afraid that Israel's approach on the ground there, the military approach in Gaza, may lead in that direction, pointing to the latest military operations in northern Gaza, which have included mass evacuation orders and very little humanitarian aid reaching that part of Gaza over the last 2 weeks. The Netanyahu government says it's trying to prevent a revival of Hamas in the area, that it has no ulterior motives in northern Gaza. As we told you previously, Hamas stealing humanitarian aid over the past year has allowed them to earn enough money, nearly $500 million. So they've been able to put 3,000 more Hamas terrorists on their payroll since the beginning of the war, and actually this taking place mainly since March of this year. Topic number 4, Kamala. She is now openly trying to buy votes. She is pitching taxpayer-funded cash giveaways if she is elected president. Your tax dollars in her latest scheme will pay for fully forgivable $20,000 loans for businesses, but not just any businesses. She's specifically targeting them to black men, saying that they deserve to participate in her opportunity economy. Still waiting for a firm definition of what opportunity economy actually means. This is racist and fundamentally not constitutional in any way, shape, or form, because you just cannot target giveaways like this. She's promising 1 million loans, $20,000 apiece, fully forgivable to black entrepreneurs and others who have historically faced barriers to starting a new business. Okay, government helping new businesses get started. Maybe do that by cutting regulation. That would help a lot. But she's basically promising to spend $20 billion for black men. Now, it's, by the way, fully forgivable in plain English means you don't have to pay it back. Free money, in other words. Now, it's obvious why she's doing this. In 2012, President Obama won the black vote in the presidential election by 85 percentage points. Today, Harris is just up by 54 percentage points. So she's still leading, but not by the amount she needs to win the election. The numbers are worse among black men between the ages of 18 and 45. Obama won in 2012 by 81 percentage points. Harris is just up by 41 points. Among all black men and women, Harris is on track to receive the lowest share of the black vote in an American election by a Democratic candidate for president since John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon back in 1960. Of course, it was after that the Civil Rights Act passed and Democrats seized on the idea of casting Republicans as racist, and that's kind of why the vote has trended towards Democrats among black voters since 1964. Now, bear in mind, this $20,000 giveaway is on top of the $25,000 she wants to give to first-time home buyers. But let's be clear about this. The president does not have the authority to just do these things. The president cannot sign an executive order saying, we're just going to give away $25,000 to new homeowners, $20,000. Congress would have to pass a law authorizing this, and this just ain't going to pass. So not only is she pandering to try to buy votes by promising free money that she can't deliver, she's thinking, she's just condescending enough to think that voters are stupid enough to think that if they vote for her, this might actually happen, and it never will. Topic number 3, speaking of the vote, the Biden-Harris Department of Justice filed a lawsuit on Friday against the state of Virginia for removing non-citizens from its voter rolls. Department of Justice saying you cannot remove illegal voters from your voter rolls. The suit was in response to efforts by Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin and the Virginia Department of Elections to ensure that only eligible United States citizens are on the state's voter registration lists. This goes back to August when Governor Youngkin issued an executive order and revealed that the Virginia Department of Elections had removed more than 6,300 non-citizens from Virginia's voter rolls between January of 2022 and July of this year. The directive signed by Governor Youngkin also included instructions for ensuring accuracy within the state voter rolls. So in its lawsuit Friday, the DOJ alleged that the state's removal of foreign nationals from its voter registration lists violates the quiet period provision of the 1993 National Voter Registration Act, which requires states to complete not later than 90 days prior to the date of a primary or general election for federal office, any program, the purpose of which is to systematically remove the names of ineligible voters from the official lists of eligible voters. Of course, the Constitution also tasks the states with determining how they want to run elections, not the federal government. This may be challenged in a higher court. Anyway, in a statement Friday responding to the Department of Justice's lawfare, Youngkin noted that the Biden-Harris administration is suing the Commonwealth for appropriately enforcing a 2006 law signed by Democrat Tim Kaine. You might remember him. He ran as Hillary Clinton's vice presidential nominee. Anyway, that requires Virginia to remove non-citizens from the voter rolls. Item number 2 today, nuclear power. It continues to show interest among investors because they need clean power for artificial intelligence. Amazon Web Services now investing more than $500 million in nuclear power, announcing 3 new projects from Virginia to Washington State. AWS announced that it had signed an agreement with Dominion Energy, that's Virginia's utility company, to explore developing a small modular nuclear reactor, or SMR. These are smaller than full-blown nuclear reactors, so the regulation period, the construction time, much less, it's much smaller footprint and so forth, plus no carbon emissions. That's the big selling point here. It's an advanced type of nuclear reactor with a smaller footprint that allows it to be built closer to the grid, faster construction times, again, fewer regulation hurdles. Amazon, just the latest large tech company to buy into nuclear power to serve up the massive amounts of electricity needed by artificial intelligence processing. Earlier this week, Google announced it will purchase power from SMR developer Kairos Power Constellation Energy, restarting 3 Mile Island, which you remember very well if you're old like me, to power Microsoft data centers. Nuclear is making a comeback, and it's all being driven by artificial intelligence. Coming up, you think you hate the corporate media enough, but you don't. I'll explain why next on 5 and 10.
Well, friends, we want to make sure you know how you can get your copy of The Dragon's Prophecy, along with, if you should choose to get the companion DVD box set right now, when you order The Dragon's Prophecy, Israel, the Dark Resurrection, and the End of Days. And it's available right now in The Dragon's Prophecy Master Collection. In this stunning new book, Jonathan Cahn will open up, for the very first time ever, end times prophecy to reveal the long-hidden secret of the last days. The Dark Resurrection, the colors of the apocalypse, the day of the dragon, the secret on the mount, and much, much more. Also included in this incredible collection are Jonathan Cahn's all-time best-selling books, bound in beautiful hardback, The Oracle, the Jubilean Mysteries, that takes you on an epic journey through a mystery birthed in a Middle Eastern desert over 3,000 years ago that is right now determining the global events we're witnessing today. And The Paradigm, the ancient blueprint that holds the mystery of our times, that that exposes the blueprint that can quite possibly foretell the outcomes of current events more accurately than any modern poll or expert, even including the outcomes of presidential elections. Sold separately, these 3 books hold a retail value of over $75 all by themselves. Yours now for your donation of only $39.99, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. But right now, you can upgrade your Dragon's Prophecy Master Collection to include the absolutely astonishing Dragon's Prophecy Uncensored 8-DVD album, featuring hours of additional totally uncensored raw materials and mysteries that are not included in the book. You'll not only hear additional end times revelations regarding what is yet to come upon the earth and how to be ready as the body of Christ, but you'll experience them with images, videos, and materials not found anywhere else. Jonathan discusses where America is in end times prophecy, what the next big prophetic event likely is, the arrival of the dragon, what Ezekiel 38 and 39 truly discloses, and much, much more. This 8-DVD set is exclusive and not available online anywhere, in any bookstore, or even on Amazon. This special upgrade includes all of the items from the Dragon's Prophecy Master Collection and the exclusive uncensored 8-DVD album, which altogether holds a retail value of $200. Yours now for your donation of only $79.99, which again includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. So don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to the Dragon's Prophecy Master Collection or the Master Collection with upgraded uncensored 8-DVD album. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Dragon's Prophecy Master Collection or upgraded collection now.
Item number 1 today. Yeah, you think you hate the media enough, but again and again, they prove that you really don't. Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance was on ABC's Sunday morning program with host Martha Raddatz, who wanted to nitpick comments former President Donald Trump had made about the Venezuelan prison gang Tren de Aragua in the city of Aurora, Colorado, where they've taken over a number of apartment complexes. Well, Trump visited the city on Friday, vowing to use a law from 1798 to deport illegal immigrants who commit crimes. He calls it Operation Aurora. Raddatz questioned the move, saying that Trump has grossly exaggerated the issue. Quote, "The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes. And the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems," end quote. Vance wasn't having it. He said, quote, "Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border?" He continued, quote, "I find this exchange, Martha, sort of interesting because you seem to be more focused on with nitpicking everything that Donald Trump has said rather than acknowledging that apartment complexes in the United States of America are being taken over by violent gangs," end quote. This is the media's job, the corporate media anyway, deciding how and what to report based on whether or not it helps Donald Trump in the polls. Now, the problem here is that the word gang doesn't really describe the true gravity of the situation. Tren de Aragua is more than a gang. It is a heavily armed paramilitary outfit at this point, and it has essentially infiltrated the United States and is now setting up enclaves, as in Aurora, Colorado, where people are living in fear of their lives, and basically Tren de Aragua claiming and capturing territory inside the United States. This will not be an easily resolved problem, but trying to dismiss it because Donald Trump said something about it, as I said, you think you hate the media enough, but you don't. Skywatch TV's next virtual conference, the Defender Conference, The Resurrection War, goes live on November 30th. Now that means on that day, you get access to all of the video presentations that have been prepared by a couple dozen cutting-edge preachers, teachers, scholars, researchers, and you set the conference schedule. For 90 days, you have access to all of these presentations, and you decide what to watch and when to watch. Find out more, reserve your spot, and do it soon, because through November 15th, you get a $10 early bird discount, just $85 instead of $95. After November 15th, it's $95. If you sign up after November 30th, when the videos are released, you still get 90 days access. Take advantage of this. The Resurrection War, really, the supernatural war in which you are deployed, is all about resurrection. Read 1 Corinthians 15. Paul made it very clear. More information and registration at defenderconference.com. This week on Skywatch TV, the main program, we're talking with Rabbi Jonathan Cahn about his new jaw-dropping book, The Dragon's Prophecy. Hamas in the Bible? Yes, it is there in the Hebrew. In fact, God sent the flood because the earth was overrun by Hamas, violence. Seriously. Don't miss these programs. You can watch them right now at skywatchtv.com, the first 2 weeks anyway. If you're watching over the air, our broadcast schedule is posted at skywatchtv.com/channels. Set-top box, if you've got Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, install the Skywatch TV app onto your set-top box, and you get all of our video content there, including these daily news updates. You can watch over the internet, youtube.com/@skywatchtelevision or rumble.com/skywatchtv, or download our app. That's even better because it bypasses the gatekeepers of big tech. All of our content comes right into your mobile device, smartphone or tablet, whether it's iOS, Android, or Amazon Kindle Fire. We have apps for all of those and links to their app stores at skywatchtv.com/app. 5 in 10 is online, YouTube, youtube.com/@5 in 10, X, formerly Twitter, @5_in_10, and thank you for watching. As we keep watch, I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.